Greetings, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to what will surely be a rage-filled, hour-long segment about the PMTAs, about the FDA's attempt to dismantle, bring down this great industry. But before we get to the rage, I've got this little intro song. You guys listen to that real quick. Try to bring the mood up a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and crash it right down back to earth. So go ahead and let's hit it with the intro. Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to another not so exciting episode of Vape Shop Life, the only vaping podcast on YouTube that no one cares about. I am the host that no one knows, Ronnie, otherwise known on the interwebs as RM Plescia, Plaiscia. Google me, go buy my books. Thank you very much. This episode is not about me or books or anything like that. We are coming to you live from inside of Big Chief Vapor Products in Chalmette, Louisiana. We're not live at all. This is going to be pre-recorded. I'm going to edit it because, I'm not ready for live yet. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm going to try to. I always try to do one clean cut, one clean show, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you get rambly things like that in there and it just sounds awkward. I cut it out. Things like that, Anyway. Let's move forward. This episode of Vape Shop Life is brought to you by the FDA destroying our industry. It is brought to you by the PMTA process that is unfair and unjust. A process that cigarettes did not have to go through. A process that cigarettes do not have to go through. So, simple question, right? Simple question. What is a PMTA? Simple answer. A PMTA is a pre-market tobacco application. That's what the P, the M, and the T, and the A stand for. It's basically an application where you are applying to the United States government, to the Food and Drug Administration specifically. You're applying to them. You're saying, hey guys, I've got this product that you guys have control of. You guys were given control of all nicotine-based products back in 2009. So that was the Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Control Act of 2009, signed into law June 22nd, 2009, which gave FDA complete control over all products containing nicotine. At the time, it was only cigarettes, cigars, gum, a couple of other things. The FDA wanted to basically, and I see what they were going for, and basically they were trying to make sure that no cigarette company could put out any new cigarettes. That was basically the gist of what they were trying to get a hold of, what they were trying to accomplish. So this date They had like a reprieve period or whatever. But September 22nd in 2009 became the grandfather date for all tobacco products. Basically, if you had a product on the market before September 22nd, 2009, you were good to go. The FDA grandfathered you in and made your products readily available for sale. The FDA was not saying that they endorse your product. The FDA was not, they're not FDA approved products, but they're definitely approved for sale by the FDA. That includes cigarettes, cigars, all of your traditional tobacco products. And then fast forward a few years, electronic cigarettes are created. They go mainstream. I'd say it was before my time, but 2010, 2011, 2012, they were starting to build up steam. You had your Blues, the Vuses, those old school guys, the Ego batteries, all that. And then you get into 2014, it's probably 2013, 2014, into 2015. That's when you have the birth of the vape shop. And here in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana, it was March? I believe it was March 2014 when Big Chief Vapor Products opened its doors to the public. Vape shops presented the FDA with a brand new nicotine-based product. And before the vape shops even came around, the FDA knew about e-cigarettes. So now the FDA has a brand new product, brand new nicotine-based product that they have to somehow figure out how to regulate. And I think instead of regulating it, their initial reaction was to kill it, was to squash it. Before it becomes anything, before anybody notices, they tried to smother it out. But smokers wanted to quit smoking. You had people like Grim Green on YouTube back in those early years, 2010, 2011. Somebody got some bass. But yeah, you had Grim Green back in those early days on YouTube, educating everyone on these products, buying the products with his own money, giving reviews on them. How good are they? Is it worth it? How do they work? So you had people online who were helping to push these products towards smokers. And the smokers who wanted to quit, who were looking for ways and options, things that they could try to quit, they would wander across videos like that. They would find people like Grim Green, and they would use that knowledge, that knowledge base, to decide what products they should get, and so on and so forth. And it grew exponentially. It grew into something that the FDA could no longer handle. I remember when I started working here in it was like December or January 2014, 2015. I can't remember. I want to say it was January when it became official, 2015. But I was hanging out in here day in and day out. I wanted a job here. I wanted this. There was something about this place, something about this industry that just drew me to it like a magnet. They couldn't get rid of me until they hired me. And here we are, 6 years later, and I'm all over their YouTube channel. Anyway, aggravating people. So now that the industry is too big to handle, too big to just squash out, shove under a rug, and let's forget about it. When I started working here in January 2015, one of the first things that got handed to me, customer break. All right, where were we here? Let's see. FDA gets full control. I kind of forgot where I left off. This is going to be a running theme throughout the episode. As customers come in, I will forget where I was. Let's see. Let me go over my notes. Not like I check them off as I get through. But I'm pretty sure we were at the point where the industry was getting too big for the FDA to handle. That's right. When I first started working here, I was handed the FDA deeming rules on my first day of work. It might have even been, I want to say that was before I was even officially working here. I was handed the FDA deeming rules for electronic cigarettes. And boy, what a read that was. What an introduction into this industry, because that is how I was introduced to repeat what I was saying when the phone rang, boy, what an introduction into the vapor industry. You come in thinking I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna help people feel the same thing that I felt, the same joy, the same satisfaction that I felt getting off of cigarettes. I get to spread that joy to other people, and I did. I did get that opportunity. I also got an opportunity to see how the FDA, right off the bat, I got to see how the FDA wants us gone. They wanted us gone. The deeming rules made that very, very clear. And in those deeming rules, there was a date. There was a date of August 8th, 2016. That was the date that all vapor manufacturers, whether it be devices, liquid, accessories, the FDA didn't care. The deeming rules labeled every single piece of an electronic cigarette, from the screws to the batteries to the cotton inside the coils. It was all labeled a tobacco product. It was all put under their control, under their umbrella of power. August 8th, 2016 was the deadline for all manufacturers of all of those products to file into the FDA and tell them, this is what I sell. This is everything that we make. This is everything that we manufacture. This is everything that we've put out onto the market. That deeming rule also stated that nothing new is allowed onto the market after August 8th, 2016. Nothing. As we all know, since August 8th of 2016, thousands of products have been released against the FDA's wishes. Thousands, hundreds of thousands. It wouldn't surprise me if it's millions. Especially the way Smoke Smock pumps stuff out, am I right? Haha, did it? Yeah. But seriously, all of those products that were released between August 8th, 2016 and today are in an extremely strange gray area, because those products are not allowed to file a PMTA. I can't even get into the semantics of how that works, but they are not able to submit a PMTA because they were released after the submission deadlines. So then the date came, and I forget the exact date, May 8th. I believe it was May 8th, 2022 or 2021. It was something like that. Scott Gottlieb, the former FDA commissioner, made that date, 2021. I want to say it was 2021. Maybe it was 2022. They moved it back to 2021. Or maybe it was 2021 and they moved it up to 2022. It was something like that. We had years. We had years to prepare, because Scott Gottlieb at least understood that this is an arduous and damn near impossible task for small businesses to undertake. But then Scott Gottlieb resigned. Scott Gottlieb resigned, and the ants, the anti-nicotine tobacco scum, I think it's actually the ants. Anyway, I'm talking about the Truth Initiative, the tobacco-free people, the Parents Against Vaping. I'm talking about those people. Because they sued the FDA. They sued the FDA, and Judge Grimm was given the case. Not Grimm Green, not to be confused with Grimm Green, but Judge Grimm was given that case, and he decided that pushing the deadline back to 2022 was not justified. Thus, he moved the deadline up to 2020. May 8th, 2020. That was when we were meant to disappear. And then a virus from China took over America, locked everybody inside of their houses for months, took away everybody's jobs, stripped away what it is to be American. So the FDA decided they'll give us another couple of months to prepare. So that date was moved back again to September 9th, 2020, and that is where we stand today. We stand up against a deadline that will all but eliminate 99% of this industry, from products, devices, accessories, juice. Hold. From coils to devices to products to, of course, products. From coils to devices, liquid, pods, mods, accessories, doesn't matter. It could all disappear after September 9th, 2020. We'll get into that next. Just realized that throughout the last segment or two, probably the last 15 minutes or so, I had Grim Green playing in the background. Don't mind those voices. If you heard any, it's just Grim. Dimitri Agafionis, Phil Persardo, Grim Green, Jay Hayes. Those are my inspirations for why I'm behind a microphone, spreading the good word, the good vape word. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. And I hope I'm doing it all justice. But I forgot where I was yet again. Let's just move on. Now we made it to the current day. So let's break it down. What's going to happen after September 9th, 2020, in about 2 weeks? What's going to happen? What's going to go down? How's it going to be? So from my discussions, from my talks that I've had with our distribution companies, they will only be carrying products who the FDA has accepted their PMTA. They will only be selling PMTA accepted products. If that makes any sense at all. All right. Okay. All right, back at it. Okay, here we go. We're back. For you, it was only a second. For me, that was like, 10 minutes or so? Anyway, moving on. Where were we? Like I said, running theme. Let's just get right into what is the vapor industry going to look like after September 9th, 2020. In 2 weeks, what's it going to look like? Because that's the deadline to file a PMTA, a pre-market tobacco application, where you have to prove to the Food and Drug Administration that your product is safe for the individual, safe for other individuals, safe for the environment, and it is not attractive to underage youth. Those are the things you have to prove to the FDA. Things that cigarettes did not have to go through anyway. So only products with a PMTA will be allowed on the market. Only products with PMTA approval will be sold at our distros, at our distribution companies. We will only be selling PMTA approved products. So what does that mean? What will we be able to get? The easy answer is I have no idea. I have no clue. Currently, as far as e-liquid goes, because we're not even going to get into devices. I mean, we can. Devices, I have no idea what's going to happen. They need PMTAs submitted for them to be on the market. The only company that has publicly stated that they are going to file a PMTA is Vaporesso. Vaporesso is the only device company that has stated openly that they're going to file a PMTA. Smoke Smock, I have no idea. Geek Vape, not a clue. They have not made any public announcements on whether or not they're going to file. As of this recording, they have not said whether or not they'll file. So I don't know. As for e-liquid, e-liquid's about the same. We only have one. It's more so. A lot of companies have said, not a lot, but a good bit of companies have said that they're going to file. Only one company has met the FDA's PMTA approval, and that's Avail Vapor. This is from August 11th, so about 2 weeks ago. Virginia-based vaping retailer and e-liquid manufacturer Avail Vapor announced that a PMTA for a flavored e-liquid submitted by Avail has been accepted by the FDA for substantive review. And I thought it was I didn't know. Substantive review. Substantive, all that means is having a firm basis in reality and therefore important, meaningful, or considerable. You tell me, I don't know. Because substantive can also mean having a separate and independent existence. Okay, but having a firm basis in reality and therefore important. So they're They have been accepted through the PMTA process. Their PMTA has been accepted by the FDA, and it is now in the middle of a substantive review to prove whether or not there is a firm basis in reality in the PMTA. That's that. That's the best I can explain that. I am not doing it again. So that's it. Currently, as of today, if everything went into effect today, when I got here tomorrow and I tried to order some juice, when I tried to order some e-liquid, Avail Vapor would be the only thing available. All the other e-liquids would be gone. This shop would not even be able to purchase them. And that's where it starts. It starts with fear. Because I'm pretty sure we all know the FDA does not have the monetary, they do not have the available monetary power to go to every single shop across the country on September 10th and make sure that everybody's in compliance. They do not have that ability. But fear. The fear of having your licenses stripped away to where you can't sell anything, period. That fear is going to get these distribution companies to only sell products that have been approved through the PMTA process. Like I said, so far, only one. But there's a couple that have said they are going to file. So within the next couple of weeks, we can expect companies like Naked, Savage, Solace, Baton, Mama-San, Profit, Shijin, Air Factory. Those are the companies that I can confirm with emails in my email. Those are the companies that I can confirm are officially going to file. I'm sure there's a lot more. I just don't have verified proof that they are going to file. Those were all the companies in my email that sent me letters saying that they are going to file. Don't worry. We're here for the future. We're planning ahead. Blah, blah, blah. Not blah, blah, blah in a negative way, but we all know what's at stake here. We are all fighting to keep our jobs. We're fighting for our livelihoods here. And I'm going to step back away from the microphone for this one because I might get a little loud. But real quick, this industry has saved so many people, countless numbers of people, and we can probably count them. There's probably millions of people out there who have been helped by electronic cigarettes. Electronic cigarettes break people from the handcuffs, from the chains that are the tobacco cigarette. And by breaking those chains, the government, the states, the FDA, nobody gets their tax dollars. And when they don't get their tax dollars, they cannot afford whatever projects they have in mind, whatever they feel like doing. I don't know. What you tell me what the government does with money because I can't figure it out. But many FDA projects, many state projects all across the country are funded solely by tobacco tax dollars. Tobacco tax dollars have helped to build this great nation. And those tobacco tax dollars that are taken by all those politicians, countless politicians across this country from sea to shining sea, all of those tobacco contributions that you get from tobacco companies to help readily keep their products readily flowing into the market. All those tax dollars, all that tobacco money, that's blood money, my friend. That's blood money. These politicians have blood stained on their hands, stained on the inside of their pockets. That's the blood of former smokers who are now dead thanks to your laws, thanks to your regulations. But when it comes down to it, when they want to bark and shout about, for years, for decades, they want to bark and shout about how we need everybody off of cigarettes. We have to get everyone off of cigarettes. That's on the surface. Underneath that surface, they need that money. They're helpless without that money. I swear, I believe that America will fall apart without tobacco tax dollars. And I'm sorry if I got loud. I'm really sorry. But the FDA is trying to take away the single greatest modern achievement of this age, of our time. The one thing that could get millions of people off of cigarettes, stop millions of people from smoking cigarettes, billions of people. The one thing that could help all of these people, it is being ripped apart, shredded to bits, tossed on the ground, stomped on, and now they're trying to shove it under a rug and act like nothing was ever here. That's why when they ban flavors, they keep flavors like tobacco around. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe you want to keep that taste relevant in people's minds, to where when you force them to go on back to cigarettes, they won't complain about it. But we got a little sidetracked there. I didn't get any customers in here, and I was allowed to rant. I was allowed to get loud. I'm going to try to tone it down. For the remainder of this broadcast. One company has made it through the PMTA process and been accepted by the FDA for substantive review. We have about 10 other companies that I can say officially plan on filing sometime within the next 2 weeks. There's nowhere where we can go where we can see who got denied. So that's a problem. We can only see if someone gets accepted. So I have no idea if these companies have tried and failed already. No idea. All right, future Ronnie jumping in to cut past Ronnie off. It took a little bit longer to get this episode edited than I would have liked, but it works out because we have a little bit more information on the PMTA process and which companies are going to be doing them, which companies have already done them, who's been accepted, who's not been accepted. We're going to update you on that. Little to past Ronnie's knowledge, we will update you right now. So, some of these names may be the same names that you heard past Ronnie talk about in the episode, but from the top, we have device companies that make devices. Who is going to apply? So we have Vaporesso. They were mentioned in the episode. We have Smoke Smock. Smoke Smock has announced they will be putting through a PMTA. Views, little like old school, the Viewses. They will be going through. Vapor Vapes. Have no idea who that is. Innokin, old school company, good solid company. Innokin will be putting through a PMTA. As for juice companies, first, real quick, what are these companies putting into the PMTA? What are they going to try to get accepted into the market? For smoke, they're putting through the SCAR. That's the new one that they just came out with, the SCAR 19, I think it's called. The RPM 2, the Novo 3, and the Nord 2. Those will all have PMTAs that they will try to get the FDA to accept. As for Innokin, Innokin's going to be putting through the Endura T18, the Adept X, the Zlide kit, the Chroma A Zenith kit, the Glim, and the Scepter. We haven't carried a lot of those. We've carried the Zlide before. Good mouth-to-lung tank, good mouth-to-lung setup. But that's what Innokin is going to be putting through. Now for juice companies, Air Factory, I'm pretty sure that was in the episode. They will be submitting a PMTA officially. Prism sounds familiar. We never did carry them. Prism says that 3 of their 19 flavors that they submitted to the FDA have already been accepted. Halo is going to submit Tribeca, Sub-Zero, and Turkish Tobacco to be hopefully accepted by the FDA. Pod Juice, we don't know how many flavors they're going to try to get accepted, but Pod Juice, that's a salt nicotine juice line. They're going to be trying to get through the PMTA process. Now, real quick, I don't want to take up too much time from past Ronnie's segment, but just trying to get things right. So, who has the intent to file? Because these people that I named already, they have already filed. They are waiting to be accepted. If they are accepted, they will be available after September 9th, 2020. They will be available after September 9th, 2020. And I know in the episode I talked about approved and accepted as if it was the same thing. It's not. Accepted means that they accept your PMTA and they will look over it. If you pass the PMTA process, then you become FDA approved and you can officially stay on store shelves for the longevity in perpetuity, right? That's the word. Anyway, who has the intent to file a PMTA? I'm just going to ramble off some names. We got a big, nice list that's going to be filing within the next week and a half or so. We got MyPod, the MyPod, MiPod, you know, one of the original pod kit. I remember it well. We have TBD Liquid. Can't say that I've heard of them. A lot of these names I have not heard of. I'm going to blurt them out anyway. Aspire Vape Co. They will be putting through some PMTAs. We don't know on what devices exactly. I was able to confirm that with a phone call just yesterday. Kite and Cloud, don't know who that is. Baton's going to go through. We already said that in the episode. E-Liquidy, don't know. The sauce, I remember the sauce. When the sauce got big, everybody was coming in here asking for the sauce. You got the sauce? Do you guys have the sauce? Do you guys sell the sauce? And we didn't. Shattered a lot of dreams back then. Anyway, Cloud Provisions, never heard of them. Bird Liquid, they're going to be going through. Innovape, going to be going through. One of the old school companies. I remember some tanks that they made. To be honest, not much else. Vapetasia with the killer custard and, you know, all stuff like that. Hopefully, I don't know which flavors they will be submitting. I'm assuming the killer custard's going to be one of them. That's one of their top flavors. But Vapetasia putting a PMTA in. So hopefully soon. Ruthless, another old school e-liquid company putting a PMTA through. Charlie's Chalk Dust. Anybody who likes the Pachamama line of liquids, be very happy that Charlie's Chalk Dust will be putting in a PMTA. Cloud Nerds, even though we never have carried Cloud Nerds because their labeling didn't quite match up to our satisfaction. I want to say they've changed their labels since. We will see. Solace going to be putting in a PMTA. That might have been in the episode as well. Mr. E-Liquid. Voopoo, the proud creators of the drag series. They're going to be putting some through. Don't know for what, though. Geek Vape, the innovators of the Aegis line, the most durable mod ever created, right? They will be putting a PMTA through, I'm assuming, for the Aegises. At least one of them, you'd assume. Mighty Vapers. We carried them a while ago with the Hulk tiers. We had the Hulk tiers that got super popular for a bit. They will be submitting a PMTA. Don't know for what, though. And Vape Crusaders, Vape Craft, don't know who they are. But they will be filing a PMTA. Juicehead sounds familiar. Suicide Bunny, old school. Suicide Bunny will be submitting a PMTA. And Sad Boy, last but not least, Sad Boy will be submitting a PMTA to the FDA. It's like tongue twister with this stuff. But yeah, the episode's not perfect. I'm not a genius when it comes to this stuff, and I got angry halfway through, so that just throws off my entire train of thought. Let's get to the sad news real quick. Sad news. Who has officially told us that they are not going to file a PMTA? Cthulhu Mods, solid company, will not be filing. Wotifo, with the help of Mr. Just Right One on YouTube, they were the proud, happy designers of the Profile RDA, the Mesh RDA. Not going to be filing for a PMTA. VGod, the Vape Trick Masters, who eventually released their own tanks and mods and juice, they will not be filing a PMTA. And then most surprising of all to me, most surprising and sad, we carried them for a little bit. The America flavor was pretty popular here for a minute. But Vape Wild, one of the older companies with the more wide-ranging flavors, much like Big Chief Vapor products, they had hundreds of flavors. Not only are they not going to file a PMTA, I believe, according to the vlog I just watched with Grim Green, it looks like Vape Wild will be shutting down operations. And that's all of our worst fears. That's exactly what we're afraid of right there. And Vape Wild's going to be victim number one, it seems. So yeah, anyway, that's been the update from the future. Future Ronnie is about to be out. You guys enjoy the rest of the podcast. Enjoy the rest of what past Ronnie is going to ramble on about. And cool little interview that past Ronnie does at the end. So be sure to stick around, and you might be able to laugh after all of this insanity. But so yeah, before I let past Ronnie take it away, and real quick, if you guys want an intense, in-depth look at the PMTA process, tune into the Smokers Show. They just had a podcast. It was their most recent episode where they break down everything. It was like almost 3 hours long. They break down everything about the PMTA process. I wish I would have watched that before I did this one. But anyway, they make me sound like an amateur. So if you want detailed information about what the PMTA process is going to do to this industry, please tune in to Dimitri Agrafionis and Phil Brisardo at The Smokers Show. Just go up on the YouTube search, type in The Smokers Show. It's on P. Brisardo's channel, so you'll be able to find it. You will enjoy that. Those guys, love those guys. Anyway, that's enough from me, enough rambling from me. So enjoy the episode. And back to you, past Ronnie. Thanks for that, future Ronnie. All right, where were we? Man, time travel is difficult. Anyway, but let's run a hypothetical scenario here real quick. So, because I'm sure everybody's in shock and disbelief that we can't have a vape shop void of vape. Then it's just a shop. I know. Trust me, I know. I might be more fearful of this than most. So, let's say that we stock up. September 8th comes along and we stock up the shop. We load down hallways and alleyways. We throw some in the truck. Got all the liquid we could possibly fit. When that runs out, when the hallways and the truckloads of e-liquid runs out, there's no restock on that. There's no restock. After September 9th, those flavors, if they have not filed a PMTA and that PMTA get accepted by the FDA, those flavors will be gone. So that's what I want to make very clear here. And we're past the point of action. There's only one action left, and we'll get to that in a minute. But thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions. A lot of the flavors that you love and that you enjoy will disappear from store shelves shortly after September 9th. When those stocks run dry and that company has not filed and been accepted, there will be no restocking that liquid anywhere. Now, I've heard rumblings of civil disobedience, and I'm one of the people who will advocate such a thing. If a little civil disobedience gets to keep me a job for a little bit extra, a little bit more time, I'll take it. That's what I'll do. I don't mind following the law. You know, when you're trying to snuff out a product that can help people live longer in exchange for something that's going to kill them faster, that just makes me question your lawmaking abilities, my friend. And I'm just being honest. I do not want to follow laws that are meant to kill people. That's not something I want to do. I don't think that's something many of us want to do, any of us. But I've heard a lot of talk. I've heard a lot of straight up acknowledgments of we're just going to follow the law. And I don't believe that it's going to die overnight. This industry is too big to die overnight. There's too many companies. Some of those companies will call the FDA's bluff. They will. They will be wide open and they will say, come get us. Come stop us. Do you want to come and stop us from selling a 95% less dangerous option? Come stop us. Come stop us. There's a lot of people out there. I know there's a lot of people who would be more than willing to get thrown in jail for doing what's right. But let's get to the doing it right? Because we're out of action. We can sign all the petitions we want. We can send all the letters we want. And please do. Please do. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Hit up Trump on Twitter. Hit up Trump on Facebook. Send him emails. You know, can he even do anything about it? I doubt it. But he helped us with the last flavor ban last year. I don't know if you guys remember when the American media was doing everything that they could to rip apart this industry. We're not even going to get into the details. It hurts me. It hurts me what they said. But when they were talking about banning flavors, they backed us into a corner. They backed this industry into a corner. And this industry responded with a rally. It was a Save the Vape rally put on by the United Vapers Alliance. They went out in front of the White House in Lafayette Square, Lafayette Park, whatever it's called. They held up their signs and they peacefully protested the banning of flavors. And there came a moment during that rally when everyone was asked, and I wasn't there, it's just stories I've heard. There came a moment when they asked everybody to move back. The president's about to leave the White House. He's got to get into the helicopter, Air Force 2 or something like that. Warhammer, I don't know. It's got a name. Warhawk 2, I don't know. You know, the Trump Hawk. I don't know what it's called, but it's got a name. It's a little helicopter for the president. And he was going to the LSU game. Pretty sure that was LSU Alabama that Saturday. Everybody was asked to move back. Everybody decided to get in a nice little pile. Everybody kind of spread out, raised up their signs that said, "We vape, we vote." They raised those signs high up into the air, just as President Trump flew directly overhead of them. He looked down and he saw a sea, an ocean of signs that said things like, "We vape, we vote." And I'm pretty sure we scared him into changing things. He thought he was going to lose a lot of votes, and he would have lost a lot of votes. He's still probably going to lose a lot of votes because of what's happening with the PMTAs, but that's beside the point. A couple of weeks after that rally, flavor ban, nixed, gone, over. They went after the pre-filled pods like Juul, nothing else. Dodged a bullet there. So, because it did have actual real-world ramifications last time, this time, once again, brought to you by the United Vapers Alliance. You can find them at unitedvapersalliance.org. That's vapors with an E, V-A-P-E-R-S. UnitedVapersAlliance.org. They will be putting on another rally, this one, on September 5th, 2020. It will be a Saturday. And it's not Lafayette Park at all. It's Ellipse Park. Sorry. The southwest quadrant. The southwest quadrant of the Ellipse in Washington, D.C. Right in front of the White House. So if anyone out there can attend, please go to UnitedVapersAlliance.org. Right there on their front page, they break down the plan. They break down everything that's going on, what's going to be happening. We're going to be doing this right, okay? We're going to show Antifa how to hold a peaceful protest. And will that make it in? I don't know. That's the mood I'm in. We'll see. But anyway, this is going to be a peaceful protest, nothing crazy at all. We are going to social distance. If you come in a group, you can stay in your group. You don't have to social distance within your group, but the groups will social distance from other groups. All right, we're going to keep 6 to 8 feet away from everybody. Wear a face mask. Wear some type of wear some type of covering on your face. We're going to do this right. We're doing this right. There will be hand sanitizer provided at the first aid tent. If there is any counter-protesting, the park security will be there to handle it. Do not, if you're there and there's a counter-protest, do not interact with the counter-protest. Let them act like jackasses. We are being respectful. And I remember last time at the last protest, there was word that we were more respectful than anybody who's ever held a protest there. There wasn't even a candy wrapper left on the ground, and the troopers there were very happy with everybody that attended. We're going to try to repeat that. We're going to repeat that process. But yeah, I could ramble off all of this stuff, but just go to UnitedVapersAlliance.org, check out the do's and don'ts for the rally, and if you can make it, get out there. Get out there and go be a part of history, because we're making history. All right? Is anything going to happen within the 4 days between the rally and the PMTA deadline? I don't know. I don't have those answers, but we wouldn't be Americans if we didn't stand up against the tyranny of an overreactive government. And that's what this is. That's what's happening here. They are overreacting to a life-saving technology, and we are just trying to let them understand all we want here is equality. We're not asking for tobacco cigarettes to be banned. We don't want them to be banned. We want equality here. We want our products to be able to stand right next to their products and give consumers a choice, an option. All right? That's all we're trying to do. I believe, yeah, that was my main event on my notes. But before we wrap this episode up, somebody just came in here, and we're going to have a very, very, very special guest coming up within the next couple of minutes. Let me just set things up over here. We're going to take a quick break. You won't even notice it. It'll be like the drop of a hat, the blink of an eye, and we'll be right back with a very, very special guest. So before we wrap up this episode, before we wrap up this special PMTA episode of Vape Shop Life, we have a special guest, a very special guest that would like to say a few words. And this is hopefully going to add a bit of humor to an otherwise dark and depressing situation. Is humor even needed here when it comes to the PMTA? I say yay. I say yes, it is. So I was not able to attain a name. I was contacted on the deepest, darkest corners of the dark web by this individual. And they are now here with me personally. I will now introduce to you our very, very special guest.
How's everybody doing? Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Is everybody doing all right? Everybody doing all right? That's good. All right. Is this too close? Am I too close to this thing? Should I move back a little bit? Okay. You're about right? Okay, I got it. All right. How's everybody doing today? Wonderful to be with you. Wonderful to be here.
Well, if you don't mind, since you refused to tell me your name and I allowed you into the shop without knowing who you are, customer break. All right, well, since you didn't want to introduce yourself to me and I still agreed to bring you on to the show, how about you go ahead and introduce yourself to our wide range of 10 listeners or so.
Absolutely. It'd be an absolute pleasure. My name is... I I have been a smoker since about 9. And I don't mean 9 years old, I mean the year 9. That's right, I'm a vampire. I am one of the last known vampires to still walk the earth. And, the only thing after centuries of smoking cigarettes, and before cigarettes it was the pipe tobacco. I remember when the hookahs were first created. I remember the very first hand pipe. It was crafted from a piece of stone, a piece of rock that we found on the pavement. But there wasn't pavement back then. It was just a road of rocks, and we found a decently sized rock. We carved it out. We put a little hole in it, crushed up the tobacco leaves, and I remember like it was yesterday. I remember the first time I smoked tobacco. It began a hard road of centuries addicted to the deadly combustible nature of tobacco. I died several times throughout the years. First it was a heart attack, then it was lung cancer. Next thing I know, I got colon cancer. Too many things to count. The cigarettes took me down in many, many ways throughout the years, but because I am a vampire, I always came back to life. The one thing a cigarette cannot do is drive a stick of wood through my heart. That's why I'm still here. But because I have died so many times from the combustible nature of tobacco cigarettes, I know more than anyone else on this planet. I know better than anyone else on this planet how evil they are. And the only thing that allowed me to put down the cigarettes, the only thing that got me to step away from the tobacco, it was when I found, it was a little battery. It was a little battery circa 2013, 2014. Somewhere around there. It was called an ego pen. And it had nothing to do with my ego. Maybe it did have to do with my ego because it was so big. I never thought for a moment that I could put down the cigarettes. I thought I was too good to die again from the cigarettes. My ego was too large. So the little battery called the ego, I got a little tobacco mix in there, tasted like garbage, absolute garbage. Then I was able to switch to a flavor called Lee Circles. It was a Fruit Loop type flavor, just like the cereal with the milk. It was fabulous. It was absolutely fabulous. And from that flavor, I was able to find dozens and hundreds and thousands of other flavors that were able to keep me off of the deadly, combustible tobacco cigarettes. I thought I had been saved. I believed that the days of me smoking cigarettes were behind me. They were gone. And then came the United States government. When the United States government gets involved in something like this, it is not a good sign of things to come.
So you do not believe the PMTA process to be justified?
Absolutely not. Do you believe a broomstick in the anus is justified? I don't think so. Not unless you do something to deserve the broomstick in your ass, and this industry has not done any such thing. Did they let out a couple of labels that was inappropriate? Absolutely. Candy King, I'm looking at you. Did this industry accidentally market itself to underage users? Maybe it did. Jewel, I'm looking at you. But overall, the overall scheme of this industry is to save lives. Lives like mine, which is immortal. Which it probably isn't a good example, But you get my point. Human lives are not immortal, such as my own. That's why we need the FDA to repeal the PMTA process and create a regulatory scheme work that small businesses can navigate to safely and productively put their products on the market for smokers who are currently out there dying every single day, smoking the deadly combustible tobacco cigarettes. And if such a framework cannot be created, I say, just like many others have said this year of 2020, I say we burn it all to the
Whoa, hey, all right. We're not, whoa.
I swear, it's the only way for them to learn.
Please calm down. There's no reason for us to take this to that level. There's been too much violence this year already. We are not going to condone.
I ain't talking about, let me at him. I'll suck the blood right out of him.
Oh my, why have we invited a vampire onto the podcast? This was not a good idea. Let's calm down.
I don't want to calm down.
None of us have to calm down. I take that back. Let's not calm down. Let's stay angry.
That's right, let's be angry.
Stay angry. Get angry. Be upset. Because the United States government is coming to take away what could very well be the greatest public health achievement of the modern day. And customer pause. The greatest modern achievement of the present day, life-saving technology, will be washed away, wiped clean from the slate. Our industry will be left in shambles by the United States government. And that saddens me. It pains me to say it. But I don't know how else to be.
I need everyone to know this is the most important fight that any of us will fight when it comes to tobacco harm reduction. I encourage everyone who has the ability to do it, please get out there on September 5th. Go fight the good fight. Let's burn down.
Whoa. Hey, why did I give you the microphone again? But seriously, everyone. Stay safe out there. Be strong. And let's do what we can to let the government know that what they're doing is absolutely wrong. It is an absolute mistake. So get out there, be involved, and let's hope for the best. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. I think I already said it, but if you're a vape shop in Louisiana, get in touch with LAVA, the Louisiana Vaping Association, LAVAPE.org, lavape.org. We need everybody together on the same page right now. If you're a consumer, please go to CASAA.org, CASAA.org, the Consumer Advocates for Smoke-Free Alternatives Association. Go join them. They'll keep you up to date on all the crazy stuff that goes on in this vaping world that we know and love. And seriously, if you can make it up to Washington, if you have the ability to go to Washington on September 5th, please do. Please go be a part of history. We need all the bodies we can get out there. We need to make sure that this is a moment that the United States government cannot ignore and will never forget. But that's about it for me. Remember, masks are harm reduction. Thanks for listening to this madness. And until next time, I've been Ronnie. You've been listening to this. Hopefully you made it this far. Hopefully you made it to the end. You guys are awesome. Who dat?
Look, this ain't fair what the FDA's doing to us. is horrible. What are we supposed to do? I mean, I am literally 974 years old. And I am not allowed to buy these. You're losing it, don't lose it. Stay nasally. Stay nasally. And now, finally, after searching for over 2,000 years, trying to get away from the tobacco cigarettes, now that I have found a 95% less dangerous option, I feel like my voice has severely changed. Let me reassess. Nasally, be nasally. There it is. There it is.